Hello everyone, it's me again. Today I'm going to do another commentary on the full clear of Orgrimmar that I'm going to do. In this run I actually don't use any orbs, and I don't proc cheat death. I do get close to it though, but we'll point that out when we get there. So I'm going to start the footage, and immediately I'm going to pop this out. And immediately I'm going to just talk about my spec, same thing again as last time. AoE Mythic Plus, like just AoE stuff. The traits, the Azurite traits I'm using, again, just Mythic Plus AoE stuff. Corruptions are just Mastery proc stuff, and pretty useless crit one. With the essences, I went with Blood of the Enemy Major, Lucid Minor, Conflict Minor, and Breath of the Dying Minor. Basically, Breath of the Dying is really good damage, helps your corruption go down. Conflict's just for AoE, and like a bit of versatility is kind of helpful for reducing damage done, healing done. And I'll go over like other options for that. Essences and Lucid's just there again for a little bit of healing, and it's good for AoE. So jumping straight into it, again, because cloaks are a little more like, I guess, resistant to sanity now. You don't have to pull insanely. You can pull everything that's here on the on this left side. I used to. But just for the purpose of like making it cleaner, like I don't anymore because the guys with the fear do add a lot of difficulty. Here I check the liquid, it's black. I actually don't grab any liquid because I just don't see any during this run, and I didn't need it. Like, again, like, despite like almost inting at this point, like the cape's so strong that like you don't have to even warp if you've got decent AoE. So yep, just nuke everything down in Blood of Enemy, not even Blood of the Enemy actually, just straight up just D&D Bursting Swords, just cleans it up. I got a proc there, and because I procced, because my sanity is really high because of the resistances, I actually don't have to go towards the Valley of Wisdom right now. So I'm going to just clear a bit for the future, just so I don't waste any sanity, sorry. And the reason I just do this is just may as well be more efficient with sanity, right? So I don't get overcapped on my sanity when I kill the elite. Because the path I'm going is the Valley of Wisdom, to the Valley of Spirits, to the Drag, to the Valley of Honor. And I'm going to do all that one after the other, no real problems really. So for here what I tried to do was put a bunch of wounds on the targets and drag them towards the big guy, and I was hoping they'd all explode and Bursting Swords would help me get a little damage done. But they just die along the way, I guess, to my ghoul or whatever. Dodge Surging Fist doesn't actually do much damage anyway. Dodge that, Decimate, because it does do a lot of sanity damage, so you don't forget about that. Because again, we're 5 masking, and Daredevil is a bitch. The devil mask. So going into it, again, straight up, just kill him, nothing spectacular. Check my sanity. Pretty good on it. Could have cleared it a little bit more. I did only get 144 sanity, so I did miss the chance at 56 sanity there. It's not the biggest deal, but could have done something. I'm not quite sure what, because like the only other thing I would clear would be like all the way to the into the drag, but at this point with the cape, you kind of overcap my lot. This pack's always going to go slow for me because I'm holding cooldowns for the next pack, and I also am fishing for a proc, so waiting a little bit for the proc little. I think it's, I read somewhere it's got like a minute 30 cooldown between it. I'm not sure on that, but like I usually just tend to use this pack to get CDs back, and like, yeah, they die fast enough. Like, it's not like I'm spending ages here. They do take a while though. So I'm gonna get a proc off one of the next one I kill. I get the proc off, and I'm gonna immediately do the next pull. The next pull is not a big pull, but a big-ish pull. Basically, the most dangerous thing here is that Dominator. I'm gonna hit. I'm gonna try to hit. That Dominator casts a stun. You don't want that going off, so I'm gonna grip it. I'm gonna focus it. I'm gonna pet kick that. If I didn't, that was more luck than anything, but if I didn't, I would have mind froze it. And I'm going to run into this guy here. This guy here is actually really dangerous if split personality is up. Because split personality isn't up this week, it's pretty easy, but if it is, you want to make sure AMS is up for this pull, so you can make sure you get out of that Viscera fluid if it's happening when the split personality is up. Sanguine Residue. Now here, I actually get hit because, and the reason being is I try to dodge it too soon, so I've got stacks of leaden foot so I don't get out in time, and I don't have my Death's Advance or Wreck Walk up. That was a mistake on my part, and definitely, probably the second worst thing I did on this run. I didn't make too many mistakes. I made a mistake here and later on, which I don't want to spoil, but here I'm just looking for chests. If you saw my previous Storm video, I like getting those mementos, so I'm looking around trying to like, just grab it, It's not there. We don't need to pull that pack for to spawn the boss, so we're ignoring it. I was tempted to like slow pull this and then pull the next pack onto the brute elite, but I decided against it, and the reason for that was I just had everything like ready for a burst now. Like, it seemed a little wasteful to like go super slow, and I think I get a proc. Yep, I get a proc. I wasn't fishing for that, but it happened, so I'm going to pop literally everything to get this guy down. And the reason I popped CDs here rather than the elite, the boss of this area, is because this guy does unavoidable sanity damage with that throw. You can avoid everything the boss does, and honestly, it's not very hard, so may as well. I think my Discord went off like 2 or 3 times during this. I apologize if that's noticeable. Sorry about that. This was in the recording, not now. I actually muted it now, but it does happen again towards the end. So again, just like killing everything, nothing really new here. Just avoid stuff. Make sure you're close enough so you avoid the balls around him, the ring, and yeah, pretty much. Now here I'm running back towards the chest because I don't want to overcap on Sandy, but I overcap it on it anyway because yeah.
And nothing I do.
Just Cape's so strong now. So. Didn't really actually do anything. There was no point running back there. I thought I had less sanity than I did. So that's all this area done. Easy peasy. Wisdom, I wouldn't say it's, to me personally, I think the Valley of Wisdom's pretty easy apart from that Brute. I think the Brute is the hardest thing, and I guess actually both elites in there are kind of rough, like if especially in split personality, because the Brute can like toss you through your split personality. So I would say that those 2 elites are probably the hardest elites in here. There's one other that's kind of dicey if you don't understand him. But anyway, getting back into this, this guy here, these packs, you can pull them both together. It's doable. It's very doable actually. But I decided against it, and the reason being is I don't want to deal with all this AoE damage, and I probably could have looking at the damage now, but at the time, like, I wasn't like 100% sure, and I didn't want to have to like pop anything there or like be in danger of having to proc anything. So all I did there was just pull it calmly. I would usually go faster in lower capes, but since capes are strong, there I tried to jump over the Dark Delusion, but didn't work. So yikes. Not really much lost though. I actually don't know what the opposite of black is because I'm not using the weak aura, so kind of just winging it as we go. Gonna do a big pull here, and the reason being is we have a lot of the enemy up, we have D&D up, and I'm gonna just do like a scuffed D&D window because I don't have my rage pet to like get everything off. But everything's dead. I get a proc. Like, it doesn't really matter the most, but it's all good. Quickly going over again. If you're doing the Valley of Wisdom and you have, and it's Dark Delusion. Oh, sorry, Dark Delusions. If it's split personality, you have to make sure you have your AMS ready. So basically the guy's going to chuck you. If it chucks you through it, you are going to get hit by his slam, which does you more sanity damage. You don't want that to happen. So here I actually missed a chest. I'll be going back for it later. And at this guy especially, you've got to be very careful with Scorched Feet because it can launch you into the waves, which can get you stun locked into more and more and more. So you take the sanity damage even if you IVF it or even if you AMS it. So you can actually AMS the Hopelessness there. I AMS that, and I go to waste Scorched Foot here whilst there's no waves there, so I can just like, not be worried when I have to move next time. If I have to move next sometime soon. So again, I see no waves, so I know I'm free to move here. Easy peasy. And I think I even move do I move? No, I think I might just stand here. Yep, just stand there because I don't want to get launched into anything. Yeah. This week's really good. I'll go over how to handle Rexar's area too when we get there, because it's also really hard on Dark Delusion. I keep saying that. On Split Personality, because it basically restricts your movement a lot, and that area, like, a lot of things knock you back, a lot of things make you want to move, but as long as you can get those 2 elites down in Wisdom without proccing or like having to orb, you're in a really good spot for this whole like run. I like doing it first. You can go Rexar first if you really want to, but I prefer, well, drag first to Rexar first, but I prefer going Wisdom because basically you can plan out the run really easily from the Valley of Wisdom. Like, if your Valley of Wisdom goes bad, you'll know you either have to be a lot more conservative with your sanity loss, or you just know you can either pull big, pull small, and because it went so well, I know I'm in a really good position right now to just go at my own pace. 8 K-Bab here, just because why not? At this level of Cape, you don't need K-Bab, but it certainly does help. Like, if you're like making mistakes or whatever, you can basically eat K-Bab whenever you want, because it's got a cooldown of like 5 minutes, but it does give you 100 sanity back. and as long as you ideally want to eat it in the Frowls area, because there's less sanity drain, but you can eat it in like the Valley of Wisdom or the Valley of Spells or wherever. Really, it's not like the biggest deal. I think you, as long as you don't drink it in like in like the Wisdom or like the Honor area, when you've got a low cape, you should be fine. Now here, just doing this, the tentacle does burrow in straight away, so I stunned it with my pet, and those Mind Carvers do actually stun you. Or fear you or something if they're alive long enough, so you don't want to leave them long too live. So I got proc, it's Gift of Titans proc, and a good idea when you get Gift of Titans is you are strong as hell with this buff, you're not taking sanity damage, and you want to just pump, pump, pump. So with this guy here, he actually pushes you back, doesn't do anything in particular, but he also does Orb of Annihilation, and that's really dangerous. Basically, the second you see him cast that, you move to the side or just get out of it. It does a lot of sanity damage, you don't want to get hit by it, it's very bad. And here we're just doing the I guess rare swan here. That gives you 10% crit. I'll hover over it when I do it. He's got like no HP. For some reason he doesn't scale with mass level, so you can kind of just like kill him in like a couple seconds. Pretty easy. So here I do mess up. I know this Touchiness is coming and I went to Death Grip it, but because I got launched by my Scorched Feet, I had to IBF there. And that's not the biggest deal in the world, but you don't want to just waste defenses, right? Like, so yeah, a bit of a mistake. So I'm checking inside these buildings for the chests. As always go back for the chests. Always find more. Mementos is basically how I you can buy sockets at the end of your research tree. So that's kind of nice. And here I am just spam clicking till I'm able to open it. And when I pull him, I'm gonna pull this last pack and just nuke them all down together. Yeah. And something similar here happens actually. I go to like I go to dodge this and I stun that because I might have been out of range to Mind Freeze. I don't think so, but you never know. And yeah, I don't want to get stunned there because I've got no IBS, so if I get stunned there, I'm just eating the whole stun, right? That's not too good on a 5 mass at least. So I proc Gift for the Titans there. I mean, it's not bad, it's not good, it's okay. There's the chest. I know there could be a spawn there, so I was ready. And I'm going to go into this next one. And I'm still checking these for the chest. I believe I see the chest there, it's at the very end, so I know I don't have to check these next two. So, with this boss, you can either hide behind that tree stump there, or you can use an immunity to his stuff, like either like AMS, Bubble. I don't know if Bob works, but I know Bubble and AMS works, so probably Cloak of Shadows too if you're a rogue. So just doing that, says again AMS the Void Torrent, so I don't have to deal with the sanity loss and stun. Bust through his Cries of the Void, and he's going to do another one shortly after, so you can either save cooldowns to this if you're not confident for the two of them, or you can just try to do what I did, pump everything on pull and just try to nuke the hell out of him. Which, if you're at my gear level, and as long as you can like, as long as you put out that damage, you'll be fine. So here, there's no really good way around it. I'm going to overcap on sanity from killing Misha. There's not really anything to do about that, like, because what I used to do was chain pull Misha with the pack that's behind Misha, and like do that, but there's really no point pulling it because you can skip it, and I'll show you how to skip it. Without an invis-pot, you can't. I think you can invis-pot some stuff here, but like, I do a route that doesn't need it, so why use it if you don't need it, right? Because again, I haven't orbed yet, I haven't proc cheat death, like I'm doing really strong. At least I don't think I proc cheat death. I mean, we'll both see when we get to spoiler alert, when we get to Rexa. So squeeze in there, squeeze through. Nothing dangerous here. Gonna just bursting swords everything down. Nothing to really say there. Just be careful about don't chain pull into that pack because the swarm. I don't remember what they're named. They're called the swarm something. The swarm leaders do 50% haste boost everyone in the pack, and as you might guess, that's pretty bad. So that one explodes for 80k, not the biggest deal in the world. I see a chest behind this one, behind this Venom Weaver, so I'm gonna go for it. Just kill, kill, kill. I blooded the enemy there just to get down faster. Now something interesting about this chest is there's two bodies that are right next to it. They spawn a Kia that come out of them if you stand near any of these bodies. So I just stayed for a tight squeeze in there, so I didn't pull anything that I didn't need to. This guy's the elite. He just does a breath and he does the volley. You just don't stand in it. That's really it. Nothing really to say about that. If you get hit by it, you get stacks of I believe the venom, and at like 5 or 4 or something, you get stunned. So As well, poison's a good idea too in this entire zone because the bugs poison you, and if you get stunned, it's not a good idea. You're gonna eat a lot of damage, take a lot of damage. It's not good. So he's gonna die. Gonna run up to this guy, and this guy can headbutt you back down like I guess the slope. So you want to make sure you're positioned in a way that he doesn't knock you down. And I actually do something really adventurous here. Is I got proc off those mobs, so I'm gonna try to zerg the actual crap out of Rek'Sai. And you're gonna see how this is gonna go. But in reality, you probably should just go slow. Unless you can CC the boards really hard, you should just go slow because, like, as you see here, sanity isn't the only problem here if you let the boards free cast their quills on you. Which is, if you check now, I'm getting hammered. I am getting destroyed, and I know like he has to die very soon or I'm dead. And luckily, he dies. If I got hit by a single more void quill, I would have died. That was proc cheat deaths rather. But obviously don't want to rely on that. That was really close. I would strongly advise you, unless you're a really, really heavy burst class and confident in that, or you have an immunity that you're very confident in, like a paladin's bubble, then I wouldn't do that. DKs can AMS the damage, but you can't AMS the sanity loss from the boars, I believe. So here I'm gonna eat some kebab, and honestly, it's not to get sanity back; it's just because I'm so low health. I also popped Lust there. I basically went all in with Army and Lust, and it was still kind of dicey. Yeah, you just kill the boars slowly, interrupt them, and save cooldowns when the two come out. Like if you got like an AoE stun or something, use it there, right? So nothing really to talk about here, just killing these guards. The reason I leave them here as well, rather than do it again, is to extend the buff of the 5% haste per stack. I don't know what it's called, but I've got 5 stacks of it there. It's in between my food buff and the crit buff. And I was actually debating whether or not to orb here, but I decided for style points not to. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull. We've got 1 boar on focus that I'm going to interrupt with. I'm going to focus interrupt. And 1 boar that I'm just going to destroy, which I actually mess up, but it's okay because I gifted Titan's proc. So just doing Thrall here, there's nothing really to say. Don't get hit by any of his stuff. Try to get in the circles if the weakest allows it. Unless you're really close to killing Thrall, it's not worth standing in the stuff that he leaves behind from the defiled ground, because even if you stand in it, it still does 45 a second at the cape rank of like 13. That's quite a lot of sanity loss. You don't want to be sitting in for no reason, right? So here I don't have the DPS because cooldowns have been popped, so I'm just going to AMS that damage. And there I just didn't move fast enough. You know, I'd be up the stun. Obviously you should move immediately. I got a bit greedy there and tried to run towards him as dodging, so I was dodging a bit diagonally. You just want to move to the left or right. You don't want to like chance it like that, because if you stumble in a bad spot, it could be one a lot worse. So just, yeah, killing. I'm going to pop my last set of cooldowns and then kill Thrall here, so that's all there is really to it. I even don't pop Apocalypse like perfectly, just because I know he's dead. Like I popped it on 3 words instead of 4, like I know he's going to die before they're even out, so I'm just going to get kind of a burst window in. And yeah, that's 5 masking Orgrimmar without using any orbs and without almost proccing Sheet Death for not using it. So that's really good. I think DK is pretty strong for this. There's other classes as well that are really good at it. Some that aren't as good and you might take a bit more time, but we 5-massed it. My cloak's level was 14 at the time of this. If yours is a little low, it should be fine as long as you've got Gifted to Titans, and like, I think around 60% sanity is when I was able to start 5-masking. The sanity reduction on the cape. I don't remember what level that was, but I'd give the Titans, I had Elite Extermination. Both of those are really good. Again, Discord I warned about earlier, that's mine, sorry. There's my spec again, there's all my stuff. If you don't have like Blood of the Enemy or like Conflict or anything like that, you can use Focusing Iris Major. Purification Protocol's a really good Major and Minor. It's up to you really. I 5-massed it on my alt DK that only had a rank 3 Iris, rank 3 Crucible, rank 3 rank 2 Breath of the Dying, and yeah, like essences do make a difference, but honestly, you use what you can get. My character at the time of that recording was 467 item level, which is pretty good. The corruptions weren't massively insane. Like Twilight Devastation's a good corruption. Mastery percentage is a really good corruption. There's a lot of like decent corruptions you get for this kind of thing, but you want to think like AoE, because most of it is AoE. And yeah, If you enjoyed it, make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe, sorry. And I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is. Have a good one, everyone.